Tunche is a mythological creature which appears in a lot of the stories of the Amazon jungle. Here in the game, we treat it in a different way. I don't want to tell much about it because it's kind of spoilerish.
Hello there, everyone. I'm Jorge Garcia from League Game Studios. I'm one of the directors for our upcoming game, Tunche.
Hi, my name is Diego Rodriguez. I'm lead game designer and writer of Tunche. Tunche is a hand-drawn 2D beat 'em up. It's a game similar to classics like Final Fight or Streets of Rage. Its world is also based on the fantastic mythology from the Amazon rainforest, and the story is about a group of explorers that are searching for Tunche, but find out there's something bigger happening in the jungle.
We are using a lot of different mythological elements, a lot of folk tales and stories that people tell their children over there in the Amazon.
And here is our trailer where we showcase the main characters of the game. First we have Rumi. She's the shaman and leader of the group, and she was actually the first character we developed.
Then there is Pancho, who is the big, strong guy who has really strong attacks, but also loves music a lot.
We have Karu, the cursed child with very quick attacks.
Then there is Naira, our Amazonian warrior, who wields a really long-range spear that can turn into a magical snake.
And finally, Hatkit, our guest character with a lot of attacks.
Well, so this is a gameplay video I recorded a while ago, actually a few days ago, based on our most recent development build. What I'm trying to show here is the first minutes of the game, after the introduction, in which you have to talk with some NPCs and they tell you a little bit more about the story. Here you are just going into the jungle to fight and try to reach Tunche's domain, which is the deepest part of jungle that you're trying to get to.
Tunche is a mythological creature which appears in a lot of the stories of the Amazon jungle. Here in the game, we treat it in a different way. I don't want to tell much about it because it's kind of spoilerish.
In these very first rooms, we can show a little bit of our combat gameplay. My character, this Rumi, is not fully leveled. I can say that she's sort of... I've spent, like, let's say, a couple of hours into the game, so she has some skills that a player that's just starting does not have. Like, for example, her super attack that I believe she's about to use in a bit. Here it goes. So that's the mod slide. That's an attack that you can actually use after unlocking it and after charging a meter that you can see up there on Rumi's small portrait.
Also, as you can see, there's this is the second room of this world. In each of these rooms, you're gonna find different enemies. In this case, we've seen frogs of different sizes. And the thing is, there's a lot of enemies for each of the worlds. And after every one of these rooms, you're gonna get a reward. So, as you saw just a second ago, there was this flower that opened and it gave the character a reward. So that's basically the progression of the game.
So our game is a 2D combat-based game, but it also has a lot of roguelike elements. One of them are procedurally generated levels, which means that every time you play, even the very first level won't be the same. Our levels are created by mixing different rooms, different experiences, and different rewards, and also different enemies. So every time you lose and you start the game again, you will find different rooms, and every time you complete a room by defeating all the enemies or achieving different objectives, there will be like these small portals to the next room, and the player will have to choose between. Sometimes we'll have to choose between two different portals, which will lead to different experiences, different rewards. So every time you play the game, it won't be the same. In this room, for example, the room's objective is to rescue this guy, an explorer that has got lost in the jungle. So once you rescue him, he will give you a reward. In this case, this NPC does not go back to the camp, the starting camp in which you level your character up, you buy different upgrades. But there will be some other NPCs that will actually go back to camp and join you in your adventure in a support kind of way.
Here we have now another new enemy. These are the trunks, the tree trunks, and each enemy has a different sort of way to attack. And I don't know if it's very visible, but each enemy also drops not only coins, but some collectibles that after you collect enough of them, you can actually learn a bit more about them, like a bit of lore about each enemy and also about the world.
Oh, well, we've been seeing this for a while now. I mean, I've been using a lot of different skills, but our combat style is really fast-paced. It's not a heavy, slow-paced game. We want characters and players to be moving around all the time, trying to juggle enemies into the air, trying to chain really long combos, mixing all of their skills. And so when you start the game, you only have like your basic 3-hit melee combo, jumping, and some really basic maneuvers. But as you level up, as you unlock more skills, your possibilities grow and you can create very, very creative ways to defeat enemies. This one is for you, Diego.
Here you can see one of our first bosses. He's Mapinguari. He's actually a part of the mythology and legends of our jungle. And as you can see, he has different kind of patterns for each attack. In this case, he's a lot stronger than all the other enemies, the lesser enemies you saw, because he's one of the bosses. And for each of the worlds, there's going to be a mythological creature that you're going to have to fight. But also you're going to learn a lot about the story and the motivations and why are they here, why are they fighting you, and slowly uncover the mystery that surrounds all this story.
So as you can see, the boss has a special mechanic that no other enemies have, which is the shield bar. So our bosses in the game work this way. They have two different bars. The first one is the green one is like a shield. So the boss won't react to your attacks as long as they have a shield on. But once you deplete that green bar, they will go into a stunned state in which you can actually really, really damage them. And that's when they will start to lose health. So he's about to go down now. Okay, so that marks the end of the first level. I actually didn't play the whole first level. There was a point in which I just jumped directly to the boss in order to just speed this up. But as you can see, now we're moving on to the second level. I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit about this Puerto Providencia, Diego.
Yeah, here it's as part of the story of the game. Puerto Providencia is the home for a lot of our NPCs, and you can see a bit of it on the background. And as you can see, it's kind of in ruins, so that's part of the mystery that you'll eventually learn. Here you can see that the enemies are different. We have some frogs that will probably appear. but it's mostly new enemies, each with different abilities. And there's, I mean, as a second world, as a world 2, it has a lot of new visuals, new backgrounds, new terrain, but the essence of the game remains the same. I mean, you're still going from room to room, you're obtaining different rewards, and finally meeting the boss of the world.
So since this level is located right next to the Amazonian River, some of the enemies present are fishes, but they are not real fishes. Like I don't know if you noticed this, but many of our enemies are based in real animals, but they are not. They are actually magical creatures. I believe the term is abominations, Diego. And these creatures have been created due to something that's happening in the jungle. That's part of the mystery in the story. Something that explorers will have to find out for themselves. But that's why once they are defeated, they pretty much turn into magic. They turn back into magic essence that you can actually use as a means to grow in as a playable character with new skills and new upgrades.
One part of the combat system that we were almost forgetting to mention is the stylish grade. You can see below the character portrait, there's these letters that, for some of the fans of Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, you can identify it. It's basically how stylishly are you playing the game. I mean, for each of the moves and attacks the player makes, he or she starts gaining some of these stylish. So if the player uses the same move a lot of the time, that stylish grade is going to be very low. The bar is going to feel very slowly. But if the player starts doing a lot of different moves and a lot of different attacks, that's going to go up a lot faster, and it's going to be a higher grade.
Well, here is our second boss. I just skipped most of the second level because I wanted to show this one before the video ends. He's called Baudu. He's an evil magical creature from the Amazon River. He's actually based on a legend called the Baudu Bermejo. It's in Portuguese, and that's pretty much the evil pink dolphin. This creature, this magical legend says that there is this creature that can actually transform between a dolphin and a human being in order to kidnap people and bring them into the Amazonian River to never see them again. So that's the inspiration behind this boss. And in this case, you have to stop this particular creature before going to level number 3. However, I didn't do quite well. And you're back in camp. This is what will happen every time you lose in Tunche. Since this is a roguelike game, we expect players to become stronger every time they fight and lose and go back to camp. So they can talk to different NPCs here, find ways to become stronger, and then try again. Well, yes, that's unfortunately all we can show you within the time we have today. Thank you very much to London Games Festival for having us. And if you like what you saw, please check Tunche out, come join us in Discord, check out our Steam webpage, and wishlist us to stay up to date with all the latest news on our game. Tunche is coming out very, very soon for PC, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, with a launch plan for the future for PlayStation. So, well, I hope you can join us when the game launches, and we really hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Thanks.